Hello everyone, welcome back to my workshop, and today we are going to learn this Y2K effect or floral background effect that looks really cool if you see. Now wondering how we are going to make it, so don't worry, I'll teach you from scratch. So let's begin. All you have to do is go to file and click on new effect. So let me go, and I have already opened a blank project for you all. So welcome back again. So what we are going to do is, before starting the filter, I'll teach you what all things you have to keep in mind. So on the left side, you will see the scene panel. In the scene panel, there is a hierarchy that you see. First is your parent class, and then the child and subchild classes are there. So topmost is the device, that is the device that you are going to use, and it has a camera with all the devices that supports camera, and then we have focal distance, and inside the focal distance, we have the ambience as well as the directional lights. So these lights, what all the functionality these lights have, I'll explain you in a couple of minutes or more. So just below the scene panel, you will see the assets. So whatever 3D object, 2D object, or it could be your PNG images, all you're going to add in the assets. It could be your fonts too. So what we will see here is that you will just have to click from computer and you can just drag or drop over here. And you can also search from the AR library. Now what we are going to do is, let me explain you a couple of things more. So this is the emulator, and here that is the middle portion, which I have just zoomed in, as a viewport. So a viewport is something where you will see what all effects and how it is going to look over the scene. And in the emulator, it would be itself your iOS device, or it could be your Android or iPad. So the next thing that you have to take care is that here in the three dots, you will find some of the more properties over here. That is, you can add iOS device, Android device, you can resize the window, you can reset the rotation, you can pin or unpin, and you can even simulate the touch. So what the simulate touch will do is, for example, I'm making an effect where I want to change the background by screen tap. So I'll just make a logic in the paths, and then I have to go here and select the simulate touch, and I have to just click it over here. Currently we haven't just integrated anything, so it won't make any changes over here. Now the next thing that you will see here is, this is a video where you can just have some real-time simulations where you can use these on these people, how your effect is looking, or you can just integrate the camera, how I have done. And the next thing is pause, play, stop, refresh, or we have, you can use the assets library. Here you can test on your device how we are going to add the experience. I'll explain you later once our effect gets built up. And the next thing is publish. Rest all thing we'll see later on. So here above you will see some of the pending settings and some of the things, that is, this is for the adjustment of the position that you have selected over your object. For example, you want to drag it over X direction, or you want to drag it over Y direction, or it could be Z direction. And the other thing, that is this one is for rotation. So if I have added an object and I want to rotate it over some position, I can just make it. And if you want, this is for resizing it. For example, you want to make it little zoom in or little zoom out. So all these things will fall here. And the next thing that we are going to see over here is how to add in objects over here. So everything will fall in the scene, and here you have a layer section. So layers is basically like how you have seen in your Photoshop, or it could be your Procreate, how layering is done one by one. So this is all. The topmost layer will be the first layer. That, for example, if I add one more layer over here, so this one would be the topmost layer, layer 1, and the layer 0 will be below it. So let's begin our filter. I hope you guys are excited. Okay, so how to add the object over here? There are two options. Right click over here, add an object, or just click on plus object and add an object over here. So right click, add a canvas. A canvas is basically an empty container that holds the other things, for example, rectangle, or that holds the other objects, null object, plane, or you can add the some of the lights, texture, text, etc. So let me add rectangle over here. A rectangle is a 2D object that contains width and height. So you can change it, you can resize, you can increase the width or height. Let me fill it width and height. Now see, as you can see that now you have to add a material to it. Material is something like how you want to add a texture over here. So I go to plus icon over here, or you can just go over here, as there are multiple ways to add the materials. I'll prefer this one. And by default, you will see a material is being added over here. And its shader type is standard. Spark supports different shader types like flat, standard, physically based, face paint, blended, shader essence, etc. So what you have to keep in mind is, if it is standard, then these lights, directional lights as well as the ambient light, these lights are going to affect my scene. How it is going to affect, so for example, if I change the color, you will see that my in my emulator, the scene is being affected by these light, but I don't want like that. I want the texture should remain pure. So I'll just go and make it as flat. Now see guys, if you're making a complex project, then you have to make sure that all your objects are renamed. Otherwise it becomes complex for you also to determine what is for what. So I'll make it as BG, and I'll make this rectangle is also BG. All right. So what we'll do is we'll go to the background and we are going to add a texture over here. Now see, if you want one single texture, for example, a single image to your scene, you can just select it from your respective device if you have downloaded, or if you want an image sequence. Now, wondering what image sequence is, so you cannot upload a video directly to Spark here. What you have to do is you have to create a image sequence of it. So image sequence would be like, for example, there is a short GIF and you want to add it. So all you have to do is go to Google and type there how to convert video to images, image sequence, and you can just download it. And in the Spark here, it will open. You'll click on this new animation sequence and you have to add the texture over here. By default, I have already downloaded all the image sequence, so I'll just keep it over here. I'll rename it and I'll upload the texture over here. So you will see these texture that I'm going to add. And just in a couple of seconds, you will see that the effect will display over the screen. Yeah, it appeared, but you will see that it is going really fast, but I don't want that. What does the FPS means is frame per second. I wanted to make sure it is a little bit slow. For example, if I give it just 1, oh my God, it's really slow, but I don't want like that. So let me give it as 4 or 3. Okay, 3 looks fine for me. I'll make it as random and loop. Now what I'll do is I'll go back to its material and go back to its flat. Now, what I will do is I'll change this layering means. As I said that you should make sure that the layering is being supported, is being added to your filter. Otherwise, your filter will be messed up. So I'll rename it as background, and I'll rename this it as user. So whatever users we have, as you guys saw that there are three people over here. I mean, same images, but yeah, 3 pics. So what I'll go to the background and I'll add PG over here. Now the next thing that we are going to do is we will go to our scene once again and we'll go to camera. Now, right side, you will see the couple of properties over here. The first is texture extraction, camera depth extraction, segmentation, and some of the interaction for to produce it patch. So all the logic will fall just in, if you want, in case you don't know, show patch editor, you will see a patch editor open. So all the logics that we are going to use will be made or built up over here. So let me extract the segmentation first. So what is segmentation? Segmentation is basically Spark supports 3 segmentation: person segmentation, hair segmentation, and skin segmentation. In person segmentation, for example, I want to differentiate a person as well as the background. and use person segmentation. Or if you want to change the texture of a person, you can use person segmentation. If you want the hair colors, you can choose hair segmentations or stars over here. And if you want skin segmentation, you can use the skin segmentation for example, full body tattoos or anything like that. So I'll add a person segmentation over here, and you saw that in the texture itself, it's being added. Now the next thing that we are going to do is we'll go to our canvas pack once again, right click over here and add another object that is a rectangle. As I said, it's best to give a variable name or rename it, and I'll just fill it width and height. Now again, I'll add material over here, and I'll change, I'll change its material name also as users. Similarly, you have to change the shader type as flat because I don't want the lights to affect my scene. Now, the next thing, like how we are going to use the segmentation is you will click on this alpha and you're going to add your person segmentation texture. Now see, cool. But what happened here? I added a person segmentation over here, but I cannot see myself. There's only this whitish color. If you want to change the color of it, you can make sure that you just click it over here and you can change. But I don't want that. I want the person's actual image should come. That is, the actual camera texture should come. So what I'll do is I'll go to this camera and extract this camera texture over here. So I have extracted the camera texture. I'll go back to my user, and to its material, I'll go to its shader properties, and in texture, I'm going to add a camera texture. Wow, it came. So this is how you're going to differentiate between your person, or you can say the user person segmentation with the background segmentation. See, now make sure that this user segmentation have the different layer. Yeah, it already selected to users. The next thing I want to do is I want to add the multiple users. So you saw in the filter that one was above and just one was in front of it. So all you can do is right click, duplicate it, or just in Windows Control D. So I'll do it twice. Now what I'll do is I'll select the second rectangle and I'll rescale it. So what if I give 2? It will be 2 you see. Oh my god, it's too much. So let me select 0.5, let me rotate it to 90, and let me move it to a little upward. And let me rotate it a little bit more. Shall I rescale it once again? Yep, this looks good. Yeah, it is looking good, right? Now the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to add one more user that we already added, but I will again rescale it 0.4 minus 90 and move it upwards. With this one, okay, we'll give it downwards. I think this is looking good. So see, it's so easy, and you make sure that all the users are met with the layers. Now see, one more thing, that if I go in front, you could see that my person segmentation of user 3 and user 4 are just above me, but I don't want that. I want them behind this main person. So what I'm going to do is I'll just click this user 3 and user 2 together, and I'll just put it above the user 1. Now see, it's not colliding the main user. So that's how you can just make sure these things you should take care, otherwise your filter will look messed up. Now the next thing that we are going to use here is we are going to add some makeup texture over here. But before that, let me add some of the textures that we are going to use over here from my computer itself. So I'll add this paper texture, I'll add this nose highlighter, this blush, and this fast color LUT that is made by one of the inspiring creator, Josh. So we are going to use this, and we could use any of the LUTs. So let me use, okay, this one, let's use this one. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that all these assets that I have been added, I'll just compress it to none, because if I'll upload it to my hub, it will take time to compress first. Okay, now don't give this name one, otherwise you will be confused. What is it? So paper texture, and you have to select this animation sequence and make sure it is also not compressed, none. If you want it, you can make it manually or automatic, takes a little more time. So let's go for none. But yeah, one more thing you have to keep in mind, that if you are making an effect for Instagram, then your file should not exceed more than 4 MB. But if you're making it for Facebook, it should be 10 MB. So you should take care of this. So what we are going to do is, let me add some blush and nose highlighter. So are you guys excited? I hope you are. I'll add a face tracker. Now what this face tracker will do is, as the name suggests, face tracker. It's going to track my face movements as well as whatever, if I'm adding a logic, for example, if I open the mouth, something happens, or if I just give a head nod or I'll make a kiss face. So all these interactions will be tracked by the face tracker. Or if I want some tattoos over my face, or it could be some makeup, I can just make sure that everything is fall in the face tracker. So I'll add a face mesh over here. Now, what is this face mesh? A face mesh is basically something that we are going to add. It is a 3D object. And whatever things that, oh sorry, it's not a 3D object, I'm sorry. Yeah, whatever things that we are going to add over here, all the properties it will going to support. Yeah, I think it is okay. So what we will do is, we will add a material. Now currently we'll see that if I go back, this texture just disappear, but if I come back again, it comes. So don't worry about it, and just give me a couple of minutes and I'll explain you why it's happening. So what I'll do is I'll add a material to it, and let me change its name as blush. Okay. Now what I will do is I'll select a texture as blush, but I don't want it to keep it standard because I don't want these slides to get affect my blush. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll just select a color, blush colors. Okay, this is good. No. I think this is looking fine. I'll change the blend mode to multiply and I'll decrease them. I think this is looking good. Now see, if I go back, this blush just disappeared. If I come again, it comes. So guys, you have to make sure that the depth test and right to depth is being checked in the advanced rendering option. So if I go back again, the blush is still there on my name user. Now what I want is, I want to add another face mesh, and I want to add its material again. But see, for the nose highlighter, it is basically just a shining material, right? So what I'll do it for shining materials, I'll use a physically based because it gives a nice texture to it. Now what I'll do is I'll add a nose highlight. Again, same thing, you have to click on these two and you have to select add option. I think it is too much. Let me make it as 27, 22. Yeah, I think it is looking good now. So the next thing that we are going to do is, we are going to add a LUT over here. Now wondering how we are going to add LUT. So let me open the patch editor. So if you guys were confused, I opened it. Just go here, view, click on show patch editor. Now I'll go back and I'll take this camera texture, drag it to my patch editor, zoom it, and I'll add this face color, fast color LUT. And this LUT that I have been using in my project, drag it, make sure these are connected. And we are going to use these uses materials because we don't want these color LUT to affect my background. So I'll make sure that this texture is being extracted and see. See, now the texture is being changed, and I think I'm loving this texture that is being added over here. So that's how you're going to add this LUT. So if you have another one, you can also add. For example, I have one more. So I'll add it and make sure that you guys understand how these slots are being used. Again, you have to compress it. And again, you have to use it to see, just drag it and just connect this one. So you can see how these are affecting my camera and how these color LUTs is being used. See, I hope you guys understood how this texture is being changed. Okay. So what I will do is I'll select the first one because I like that a lot more. Okay, that looks cool, right? Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to add a paper texture to our scene that will give more Y2K vibes. Oh, all right. So let me add a rectangle. Again, I'll fill it width and height. Again, I'll add a material. Let me change this name to as paper texture. All right. So, okay. Sure. I'll go back to its material, make sure that it is selected as flat, shader type, and again I'll change it at paper. Okay. Now what we are going to do is, what happened to my scene? See, I haven't selected a texture over here. Once I select it, again, oh, where is my user? Where is my background? So don't worry, it is because of the blind mode. I'll select this and multiply. Wow, see, a good paper texture is being added to my scene. And I think it looks good right now. You can increase or decrease the opacity if you want, but for me, it looks good. And I think that was perfect. Now, the next thing that you have to do is you have to make sure this effect is being saved. So Control S and give it a good name over here and to save this project. Once you save the project, you can just test it over here. So you have to first add an experience. As I told you in the beginning that you have to add a sharing experience. For example, you want to make this effect as a sharing experience for Insta. If you want to make sure that people use in your reels, or you want it to be used on your stories, or for video callings or for ads, and add a sharing experience because I want to make sure that these are being used on Insta and Facebook. And if you want this that user should select the existing media, you can just click it over here. Another thing is, I'm sorry. Another thing is you have to make sure that these capabilities, this compression is being set to the quality. For example, the face tracker is set to high. Okay, it is looking fine now. Okay, so that's how you can test your device. Go here and select the Insta as well as Facebook. So then you can take your device and you can just click it and make sure that to make a video of 10 to 15 seconds, and you have to now upload it to your Spark AI Hub. So how to upload it to your Spark AI Hub is you have to select it over here, that is publish, and make sure it's been compressed. Yeah, it is, and you have to upload it. And you have to think of a cool name to this filter. So I'm going to give it as, let me give it as floral whites, or it could be Y2K, anything you can give. Make sure it's being uploaded. Sorry. So let me give it a good name. Floral Y2K whites. Select the category. You have to upload a demo video and it should not exceed more than 32 MB. You have to save it, and once you record it, you can just upload it and submit it. I'm not submitting right now because my demo video is not added. Okay, so next thing we'll come back again to the Spark AR. I mean, like once your filter is being uploaded, you'll come back to the Spark AR, and whatever you think that you are going to do is that uh, you will just share it to your friends, your family, and I hope people will appreciate your effects. So I hope you guys liked it, and it It is really good to see your filters too. I'm waiting for your filters. Okay, guys. So can't wait to see your filters. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye.